This program is proudly brought to you by the FSCA.
Hello to you and a warm welcome to another incredible episode of Ke Zaka. Today we're coming to you from Soweto. We're just a stone's throw away from Hector Peterson Memorial, and what an incredible symbol it is of the power of people coming together for the greater good and for a collective unified goal. That's exactly what our group today has done. Kopano Collective. They've joined their resources not only for their own benefit, but also to impact others. We're going to find out what their story is and how we can connect them with an expert who will give them relevant, reliable, and credible information so that they can make even better financial decisions. Let's catch up with them now. Asambin.
Kamala Mupumzile Mthethwa, and I'm the chairperson of Kopano Collective. Kopano Collective is an investment stokvel that invests in various asset classes. We started Kopano Collective to be inclusive, first of all, taking into account that not everyone can afford to invest on their own, but as a collective, we can actually do greater things.
How are you? I'm good, thank you. I'm cappuccino. I think I'm at the right place there.
Yes,
I
no,
can smell cake, scones,
yes,
coffee.
Very nice.
No, I'm definitely at the right place.
Isn't it? You feel at home. We are good.
Good. But also like Kopano Collective.
So, had I joined the Kopano Stockfile, right? There was a post, more Facebook, more Twitter, and then Babulela Kahore, imagine what we can do, with 50 rands, right? As a collective. And then we get,
We formed a group, and then we decided to look, how about we all contribute 50 rands and see what we can do with this 50 rands as a collective. And that's really how it started. So we got people who jumped in and believed in the vision, and we kicked it off from there.
When was this?
This was in 2019, in May, when we started, and this all started off from Twitter, by the way. Yes.
Social media.
Yeah, so when we started, we didn't even know each other, nobody knew each other. And then we took it offline, and that's where we discussed how do we move forward from there.
Esther,
yes.
when you know what cover it training, move
listen, I saw Twitter and I was like, look, I'm part of that. I'm telling you.
And in my view, when I saw this stokvel, I felt that it has that developmental impact within the previously disadvantaged people. So that's how I actually joined the stokvel. And in addition to that, I also joined the stokvel to obviously provide my expertise, share my experiences in terms of what I've learned in the corporate world and translate it into the stokvel itself, or at least so that we can have a proper, probably governance structures and whatnot.
We started Kopano Collective in May 2019 with 400 members when we started, and we're now sitting at 1,400.
Wait, I want to make sure I'm not misquoting you.
Yes.
1.4 is 1,400.
Yes, so 1,400.
Are you serious?
Yes, we're quite a large group.
Yeah.
That is quite a substantial number.
Yes.
Yeah. And how many of them are active in terms of participation, and how many of them bafuna nje nisishele imali maseyizala?
That's been our biggest
Yeah.
challenge,
Everyday struggle.
with any group really. You won't have everybody who's consistent. So that's been one challenge, where you don't have everybody who's committed, who's consistent. And of course, there are those who want instant payouts. And this is a long-term game. So there's nothing we can do about that. But how we manage it, we focus on those that actually are contributing consistently, and we use what we have.
Yeah. And then the amount has stayed fixed at 50 Rand.
Yes, the amount has stayed fixed at 50 Rand. We agreed that we'll lock it down for 5 years. So in the 5 years, we're just going to be contributing, and in addition, we're going to use the same amounts to invest in different asset classes.
That's where I want to go. Yeah, le mali le, lama 50 Rand ayenzani.
Yeah. So I'm a 50 Rand is our collector every month. We then, as a board, we look into what we can invest in. We take the 50 Rands, whatever amount that we've collected that month, and we invest it in either property or agriculture for returns. So that's what we do with it.
Portfolio yenu manje ke niinveste kuphi so far? What's been happening? Or is it livestock? What kind of farming? What kind of agricultural businesses are you into as well?
Yes, we've invested with livestock, livestock wealth, the SV Capitals. Yes, so we do extensive research, obviously, and we make sure that we partner with people that have credibility.
So for me, I think in the next 10 years, this is where I start seeing it more gradually moving into a company or that has assets, and obviously starting to penetrate the various markets that we have in South Africa, and obviously making more profits for our people.
I love
So
it.
at the moment, we don't have active investments of our own. So we're just investing passively. Yeah, for returns.
I love it.
Yeah.
And then how do you divide dividends? Who gets how much back? When? How often do you receive any of the money back, or is it more of a long-term investment?
Yes, it's a long-term investment, but our treasurer will give you more details on that. But at the moment, within this 5 years, all we're doing is basically using the contributions to invest, and then after 5 years, we'll then decide what active investments are we going to take up. Because we're not going to stop at the 5 years, right? Yes, so we're going to continue and either buy a property or a franchise, just to create wealth and also create employment for our members.
Okay, I like that. Let's talk a little bit about how you collect the funds. Ni right to department, or do you need assistance there? What's happening?
Okay, so on collecting our monthly contributions, we're using an app where members contribute, and we also opened a PTY. So we move the funds from the app to the PTY in order for us to make those investments.
Oh, I like it. You girls are on fire. In terms of constitution yenu, everybody knows what's required of them, structure, organogram, those kind of things, you're set.
We're all set on that, yes. So we have established governance structures where the stockpile is governed by the Constitution, and the PTY is governed by the MOI. And we also have other governance documents that we've placed.
Awesome. So if homework to namhlanje is to get you someone who can assist in terms of your investments, where you put them, how you expand, financial literacy for the members, increasing member participation, and anything else maybe is ovela while we continue our conversation. But I also want to meet other people in your group, your treasurer, law ophethe imali.
Yes, that's our most important person.
Of course. So, okay, I see Bambela for the time being, and then Harafuja, the financial expert, the other members as well. All right.
Okay.
In the meantime,
Hey, same here.
We'll be back just after this. Bosisibe Kopano Collective, Naige Impeta Yenu. Ephraim is joining us, and he's going to give us some financial advice just to assist the Laposisis Nama problem. My sister Lopeti Waleti Angmaz, maybe you can introduce yourself, treasurer.
I am Nandelangeni, and as you have said, I look after the money of Kopano.
Very importantly.
Very important.
Ndabona a tweet from someone. Uba They were talking about how this other organization is doing so well with just contributing 10 rands a month from their members, and how they're building schools for their people, how they're doing so well with just 10 rands contribution. And I was like, oh, that's nice. And Batata about the power of the collective and what we could do. Imagine, I think the tagline was, imagine what you could do with 50 rands.
But before the break, we were speaking to the other ladies about, Ikopano, how it started, where it's at, and where they would like to go. Sakuluma also about some of the challenges abanazo at the moment and how when perhaps you can assist. I think the first challenges was the issue of the participation yama members, 1,400 members at the moment. Of those 1.4, buying active like a lot, and then sluggish. You maybe give me the ratio.
Okay, I think we have about at least 80% members who are consistent. And it's just a few of those who really are not as committed and participative.
And then Mali, by letter, committed or other committed, Mali committed.
Unfortunately, no, they don't bring the money. So you find that there are members who are more than 6 months behind, or some even a year behind. But we're keeping them obviously because they still have membership. They are still members. They have their contributions that is already inside. We have a lot of members though that are ahead who have contributed for the full five-year lockdown, which is great. And we try and motivate most of our members to actually pay in advance, because if they pay in advance, it means I have money to invest. So, but those that are keeping it and that will be catching up like close to year 5, where are we going to invest that money? It's going to be late. So that's the biggest challenge. We know that some members will catch up, but we don't want them to catch up at a later stage because we can't use then the funds to invest.
We are looking at Kopano Collective, where there is the power in a group of people coming together wanting to invest and saving their money. They are calling it 50 Rand stock fair. You know, you can look at it and say 50 ranta, but you can imagine what you can do with 50 rands over a period of 5 years. Ayanda, I think it is important that even the members, when you have them, you keep them active, you know, keep communications going on, update them, let them know where you are, you know, keep reminding them of the vision, where you guys want to be, where you want to go, so that they also become actively involved, you know, and also encourage them to contribute, you know, to the stock fair, because, you know, with the challenges today, there is a demand for monies. You know, sometimes we have little money that we have, and then, you know, you need to pay for the school fees, you need to pay for the food and transport and so forth, you know, and then they forget about the stock fair. Yes.
Okay, the biggest challenge in the one abantu guys contribute abantu abantu, they don't put in their contributions in time, but they forget. I think also because imali 50 rand, so it's like I don't owe anyone. It's you forget about it, and then they come later. Oh, I forgot, and then put in maybe 6 months worth of contribution. So it affects us as the treasurer very negatively, because we need the money up front to be able to invest it and to get return on it.
It's in the constitution about this. Like, is there some sort of rules that say if you miss 6 months, is a keeper or a year? What are sort of your regulations when it comes to participation?
So currently we don't have anything that says we're gonna keep you if you don't contribute, right? Because this is a voluntary thing. And because of the fact that we have the 5-year lockdown, even if you do not contribute, we won't give your money back, because of the fact that the money is locked in for 5 years. So there are some members that might actually just want to leave, but they can't leave. They have to wait for the full 5-year lockdown period. And then when the time comes, if we're gonna pay out dividend, they'll get dividend according to how much they've contributed and then the portion thereof. So currently, even if you don't contribute, you'll still stay up until the 5-year lockdown is over.
So it is important that even as they come together as Kopano Collective, it is important that they state their vision and make it clear, so that each and everyone who joins the stock fair, you know, is of the same mind, is on the same direction, you know, and they clarify the matter. And not only once, you know, you don't speak about your constitution and what you are standing what you stand for as an organization. You don't say it only once, but keep on putting it in the face of your members so that it keeps on reminding them, why did we join? 5 years is a long period of time, quarterly, you have a video that comes there and say, remember, as a collective, as Kopano collective, we are about this. We are saving our monies, we are investing our monies so that we can be going here. Here's our vision. This is where we want to see ourselves at the end of the day. So it is important that first of all, what Ayanda you were saying to say, when a person has been contributing and they stop contributing maybe at the third year, what happens to their money? How do you encourage them to still be active? But most important is the issue of having the constitution, the Bible of the organization that stipulates how you are going to be functioning as a stokvel. What is the rules and the responsibilities of each and every member that comes and participate in your stokvel? What happens in the case that you are no longer active, you are no longer contributing, and then most important is that, you see, your organization, it's a legal entity. There will be people who are not happy and then who might want to take you, to court. They might want to sue you. So you should be able to defend yourself and say, but it is written in black and white. These are the terms and the conditions of the stokvel, that anyone who participates, they will be following these guidelines, they will be following these rules, and they all are governed by that rules.
My meeting with Ephraim was very good. It was great, in fact. It reminded me of some things that Ebendizazi, but was not necessarily thinking about them.
Our meeting with Brai was actually very eye-opening. He highlighted a very important factors that we need to take into consideration in terms of educating our members more, communicating more clearly and openly, and as well as making sure that our governing documents are as detailed and the vision is clear for everyone to understand in terms of where we are and where we're going.
So there is that power in the collective, a group of people coming together saying, we want to invest so that we can have more money. We want to create wealth for ourselves, So that is the vision that you have. So you must aim to achieve that vision at the end of the day, to say, okay, let's put our monies together so that we can have more money. It is for us and for our children and our children's children, So that vision that you have, it's something that we must keep alive and then be able to achieve that goal. Nobody wants to come into something that it won't go anywhere. So everybody, as they are involving, especially with their monies, if they come and want to participate, they should be able to receive a return, a positive return on their investment. So let us look into that and say, how do we actively making sure that, even as we contribute, it becomes a benefit to all our members.
I love it. I just think the future is bright. There are lessons that were learned in the build up to this. It's not been a waste. It's been an opportunity to grow, to increase. And I'm looking forward to post 5 years.
Yes.
It's going
to be going down.
It's going to be going down. There's more dreams. And for me, where there's the vision, Aisha, I'm telling you, the future is bright. All right, let's wrap it up, at least for the time being. More in just a moment. Stay with us.
It is important that even as the members of the stokvel, they should also be aware that, running a stokvel, it comes with also expenses. There is a structure that has been put in place. That structure, it makes sure that things are running, and that is an expense on itself. Maybe they have to buy airtime, they have to buy data, they have to, remind members, they have to do all those things. So it's an expense that it sits with the structure, it sits with the treasurer, it sits with them, that they must be running expenses of the organization, different from the contribution that the members are making.
For me, manje nihambe kanjani lapha eshowini yakhe Zaka?
Sambe kahle bekumnandi. We learned quite a lot in terms of where we still need to improve as a stokvel, but we've done so well so far. But there'll always be that improvement that we need to make, and those are the things that we took away from the show.
My name is Gloria Kaba. Ke joinile stokvel because I saw a potential in the vision.
And remember, it's not all the time you can get opportunity, or 50 randa can actually make something out of it.
The one thing that I took out, rather the two things that I took out,
Yeah.
is one, the fact that obviously our members are not fully aware in terms of financial literacy. We need to teach them about financial literacy, because we assume that just because we know, that they also know, and that's not necessarily the fact.
Yeah.
So UPRA has offered that the FSCA does this kind of thing. They can actually come in online, obviously, and have a session with our members to teach them about financial literacy, how the investments work. You can't invest today and then expect a return tomorrow.
Ke thabetsa haholo hobane e la le di-points and the learning keys tse re ka di filtering down to all our shareholders and actually make our stokvel better and grow and be more committed ka botlalo, like fully on.
As the FSCA, we are willing to give them an online teaching in terms of financial literacy. We can do a session with them where we will, break down the financial education and financial literacy to the members. We can do short clips, video clips with them in terms of what is the importance of saving. What is the difference between saving and investing? What are the pros and cons that comes with investments?
I think that presentation that we'll get from the FSCA is going to be very good, because as we know, people don't read, and it's not just our members that don't read. Just
Generally,
people don't like to read.
people do not
So
like to read.
it's going to be a very great opportunity for the members to get information when the FSCA comes through to present. The show was extremely helpful. As I said, having met UPRA from the FSCA was a great opportunity for us, especially because they're offering to give us free educational course to our members. I love that. They made themselves available. I personally didn't know you can just ring a bell and then they will come and give you financial advice for free with your members. That's a great thing. So if it wasn't for the show, I wouldn't have learned that.
Having shows like Ke Zaka actually validates that stokvels are very important, especially in Black communities. We are doing important work. We are making sure that our people do not just consume what they invest in, but they can also think for their children. They can have a legacy. They can build a legacy for their children.
Thanks
No
to
good.
Ke Zaka.
So we really appreciate Ke Zaka.
Well, we came, we saw, we conquered, and we learned some valuable lessons on how to make that money, honey. So get in touch with us. Let us know what you and your group are up to. Maybe you want to diversify your portfolio, or maybe increase your disposable income. Let us know, and we can connect you to an expert who'll give you relevant, reliable, and credible information so that you can make better financial decisions. Until next time, Ke Zaka ntwe. Let's go.